there's one thing I realized when I look up information of millionaire farmer, which who has who have tremendous and enormous size of a farmland around the world. They have a common point, which is like their initial start point of farming business is not it's not like producing crops in the field, but just they start the business as a retailer. So retailing is very basic business model that every one of people experience. Uh, so uh, so simply they start they start stocking the crops from the company that deal with the thousands of farming crops and sell those to the place, sell those to a store or a hotel or some other places where people need it. So this is what they did in in the initial stage of a business, and and they and the next day they bought farmland by the profit they made through the business, the retailing business. And then before we knew it, the people as king of palm oil farmer in the Asia, or king of pineapples, or king of some you know uh, farming crops. They they are called like that, but probably most of them are not really involved with the production side of farming business. They are just a businessman, and they only what they really interested in is how they make money from the crop they produce in their own field. So probably they own their field by field. They bought some fields. They bought some fields and they own fields, but they are not really involved in production side. Involved in production side. So I knew some of millionaire farmers who possess some plant factory, even though the business is not really business is not making really good profit, but they just possess that business because they just count on the future profits, or the technology improvement, or farming technology development in the future. They just count on these things, and then the amount the amount of deficit caused by the plant factory they possessed. They just compensate this deficit from another business they owned. So, what in short, uh, starting farming business from production side is not really good choice for m- choice for me. When I when I look up information of the background history of millionaire farmers on the internet, so probably uh, start from retailing business. Starting from retailing business is way more, way way smarter than starting farming business from production side. I think so. After all, uh, I think the co- I think the cost of farming is way expensive than the business than the retailing business. And um, finally, I if I manage some fields in Japan, and I run out of funds to run those fields in Japan, I, I finally have to rely on the funds from investors. Investors. So um, so it is impossible to manage the business completely uh, completely by myself, you know, completely alone. Uh, Finally, I have to rely. I must rely on someone who has money and who is willing to invest money to my farming farming production business. So when I think I really want to do farm, you know, uh, plant factory, plant factory business. But when I look up information of startup that runs a plant factory, they they just accept they just accept enormous funds, enormous investment from angel investors or other company that is really willing to invest in startup. So so if I want to rely on the investment uh, to start up my farming business, I I need to be more, you know, I need to be more genius, and I need I need to make more, you know, good results, that really good result is that is enough to persuade investors to invest me money for my farming business. So I don't have any results in the farming fields because my farming, I just I just worked in a farming company for just 1 year. No, for just 7 months, and I think it's impossible for me. It's impossible for me to persuade investors to ask for persuade investors to invest in my farming business. And I just consider where I should start from if I want to do farming business in Japan. Uh, so if I start from retailing retailer of farming crops. I can start from very small fan. I can start from very small fans, and it is alright. It is alright not to rely on the initial fans. It is not. It is alright not to rely on investors. Uh, to investors, but I can just prepare my own fan my own funds enough to start uh, my farming crops retailing business. So I'm not really sure what is correct and what is wrong, but but starting farming business from retailing is way more realistic at the moment. Even though I received farming training program in the farming company for about 2 years from now on. So I don't know what's going on 2 years later, but probably I've got two options to be involved with farming business in the future, which is like one is like I participate in International Frontiers program that managed by a Japanese NGO, and go to developed countries and go to developed country for the purpose of researching market of farming industry, and I just preparing farming business for about 2 years there, and I just started farming business in that country I am disposed to, or I just start 2 years later. I just start farming business by myself. Doing farming business as long as I can, and then probably start from the simplest retailing business, and then stock some farming crops from some farming crops from the company, or farmers who want to make a profit, to sell to the people who need it, and then I just sell those farming crops which I buy from farmers with profit margin. No, I sell those farming crops which I buy from farmers or farming company to the restaurant or supermarket or other places where people need it, with profit margin. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but I think there are several steps to reach mm, re, reach re, reach the goal I aim for. Probably. Yeah. There 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 are quite a lot there are quite a lot of obstacles that I need to overcome prior to starting plant factory uh, 2 years later. So uh, before I am involved with that business, uh, I have to I have to do uh, I have to do other steps that probably get close to doing plant factory. Hmm. What do you think? What do you think? Retailing is the most basic uh, business model, that people, most of the people can understand. Very simple. Stock some product from company that manufacture, and then sell it to the market that people need it. It's pretty simple, but uh, this is very significant. This is a very important part of a business that I need to understand if I want to start business independently. So I don't know, but anyway, eh, patiently keep working in the farming company because I have to complete uh, farming training program in the farming company for 2 years. Anyway, yeah. Thank you very much.